And we're back on the Mana Symbol channel. I got to re-record this little chunk here, so thanks everyone who's live for bearing with me. Doesn't happen often, but every now and then all the people live get to see what happened, and if you're in the future on YouTube, tune in live to see me make mistakes. But we are back playing Mardu Nihiri Boom. This is Mardu Nihiri Boom. Mardu, quote-unquote. The only black card in the deck is the flashback on Lingering Souls. We're playing with Nahiri the Harbinger here. It's a legendary planeswalker for 4 mana. It's red and white. It's got +2, you may discard a card. If you do draw a card, good rummaging effect. -2, exile target enchantment, tapped artifact, or tapped creature. And -8, search your library for an artifact or creature card, put it directly on the battlefield, then shuffle. It gains haste. So we're going to do that with Emrakul. Emrakul can hit our opponent for 15 damage, and also has the Annihilator 6 trigger, which means they have to sacrifice 6 permanents. That's pretty much going to end the game at that point. Around this, we've got a red-white mid-range package. We've got some land destruction in the form of Pillage and Boom Bust. We've got some Cleansing Wildfire here. Cleansing Wildfire and Boom Bust get to team up with our friends either Darksteel Citadel, Cascading Cataracts, or Flagstones of Trokair, so that we either have an indestructible land to target with Boom Bust or Cleansing Wildfire, so we could ramp ourselves. Oop, there it is. Or Flagstones of Trokair, which when destroyed allows us to search our library for a plains card and put it directly on the battlefield. Does not pass go, does not collect $200. And then we got some Seasoned Pyromancers. We've got the Lingering Souls that I mentioned earlier. Lingering Souls, when discarded to Seasoned Pyromancer, gives us a token, plus then we can flash it back. We got one Chandra, we got one Gideon. Obviously, each of these Planeswalkers is not as good in this deck list as Nahiri, but they're just both generally reasonable cards. Gideon doesn't see a huge amount of play in Modern, but with it being such a creature-centric metagame right now, I can see that being an acceptable thing. We got some Wrath of Gods. We got one Day of Judgment. The split here, I guess, is to dodge things like Meddling Mage. It's pretty low cost. Not a lot of creatures in Modern regenerate. Can't think of any that are commonly played that do, so shouldn't be a problem. And we've got the Cascading Cataracts, Flagstones of Trokair. All right. I think I've covered pretty much all of it. We've got more copies of Lingering Souls in the sideboard. We got the 4 of Chalice of the Void here. We've got 2 Ousts in the main deck. This actually will not accelerate our opponent. Path to Exile is not a great card to be playing right now. Oust is great against Death Shadow decks in particular because you force them to gain life. So we can also use it on our own creatures to gain life in a pinch. Alex contributes Thrun, of course, talking about Thrun the Last Troll, which, as he well knows, he is the last troll, or the first troll. One of the many trolls in my chat. Thrun is not a card regularly played in Modern at the moment, which was the qualifier I used there. That's a pretty appropriate quote for you to fetch up, sir. Why does nobody play Sunlance? I mean, it's a sorcery. That's a big knock against it, Mad MTG. Not targeting white creatures is relevant. And the fact that it's damage-based removal, I mean, right now, it only hits creatures. Well, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't hit... it's the white strafe. It doesn't hit planeswalkers, it doesn't hit players, and like Lightning Bolt right now is questionable as a removal spell for control decks. Like if you're a mid-range or aggro deck, yeah, Lightning Bolt's great. But control decks that really need to kill the opponent's Monastery Sisters and stuff, the fact that those decks are on so many copies of mutagenic growth at the moment kind of puts you in a spot where you really, like, relying on Lightning Bolt as your one and only piece of removal against the aggressive decks is just not tenable. It's just not something you can rely on. I'm assuming we're going to be against Breach here. I can't actually cast this Cleansing Wildfire this turn, but I will be able to next turn because this is going to get me a Sacred Foundry. And we'll play Mazemind Tome here. Spell Snare? Jeez. Mana Tithe, Sunlance deck, and 5-0. Well, best of luck to you. I can't wait to see those prices spike up. Let me know when you 5-0 with that, but before it gets posted, so that I can jump on that sick value train, get my MTG finance going. JK, I don't play Magic. You could just tell me you did it anyway. Send me a screenshot that's mocked up. Just make it up. It'll be fine. Be gay, do crimes. I'm not allowed to get mad at you, because if I get mad at you, you just say, Lamau, it was just a joke. Is this them floating the mana by instinct because they don't have interaction? Ah. Bargaining, I see. Bottoms the card, and... Oh. Oh. So in terms of 3 mana or less cards that I could draw and I really want to play, there's the second Mazemind Tome, there's Boom Busts, there's Pillage, there's Pyromancer, and there's Lingering Souls. Considering if I want to cast this Wildfire on myself to ramp, and the next turn my Nahiri would be able to dodge a mana leak. Cleansing Wildfire also currently dodges a mana leak. The downside of this is if they have Archmage's Charm, then they can quite easily just ignore this and then just go draw 2 cards. But, yeah, well, when in Rome, it's actually getting my last basic, which is kind of hilarious. Mana leak it. Can't let me ramp this much. You can't let me do it! Snapcaster. Spell Snare? You got it, opponent. I like this opponent. They see the opportunity to Spell Snare. They don't let that go. Hell no. You can't let me have the 2 mana cycle rampant growth. It's too powerful. Your ships can't repel firepower of that magnitude. Snaps off the Archmage's Charm. Yep. Not your problem. 4 Mana Tithe, 4 Sunlance, 4 Lightning Bolt, 4 Lightning Helix, 2 Chandra. I mean, I think you could probably play this deck with the Sunlances and the Mana Tithes. The previous version of this deck had 4 Mana Tithes in it, and I think 4 Lightning Bolts. Or this one has largely none because it's playing Chalice in the sideboard, so you can't overload on 1 mana spells in the main deck. They bolt me, sure. You got me. Oh, friendo. I guess I should dodge the mana leak here. Maybe I play the Wrath. Yeah. Why not? I feel like they'll protect the Snapcaster if they can. Nope. Okay. But if this is a Breach deck, that Wrath of God wasn't going to do much for me anyway, so. Okay. Rats. If that was an untapped land, that would have been great. Boros removal that deck. I mean, kind of, right? Yikes. Well, they got their red mana back. Oh. There's no way I can cast Bust, though. I have to cast Boom, get it Cryptic, and then... Yeah. Guys, you know what I say. Not that good right now. Snapcaster Phage. Hi, I was playing your Velomachus deck. That thing is fun. It sure is, friend. It sure is. Yep. Okay, so, I mean, this is kind of what I saw coming, with the obvious downside being that if they have the Breach Emrakul this turn, we're in huge trouble. But nothing I can do about that. Yeah, the Velomachus deck is phenomenal. If you are a fan of that deck, my challenge run is going up as a YouTube video tonight at midnight. YouTube playlist tonight at midnight. So I highly recommend that if you want to get into playing that deck, you can watch that. You can watch the previous challenge run that I did with it, and you can watch the league videos that I've done. I think I've only done one actually with that specific deck list, but it's certainly something. So they cryptic before I played the Nahiri. Oh no. Wait, they're going counter draw? Oh, so they're just desperation digging? Because I was thinking, like, they cryptic before they knew I had the Nahiri that was going to start ticking up, and cryptic is a card that beats my Emrakul, but maybe they don't know that, or maybe they're just, like, desperation digging here, and because they think that's better than holding the cryptic to blow out my Emrakul. I foresee a burn spell hitting my Nahiri. Or maybe they're very, very slowly, clunkily trying to cast their Through the Breach. No, they're playing something. Magmatic Sinkhole? Okay, it's Prismatic Command. Deals 2 damage to any target. Yeah, and then, yeah. So the aforementioned burn spell on my Nihiri. Alright, we're looking to find land destruction this turn. I got 2 shots at it. I got numerous land destruction spells in my deck. Boom Bust would, of course, be the best if I can hit a bust here. Would be great. Oh, I played the wrong sound. It's been a while since I played Boom Bust. I was supposed to play
Boom, baby!
the much shorter. Shorter and sweeter. Opponent discards Island and Through the Breach. Plays a Castle Vantress. Alright. Well, probably my last turn on this Earth, so we better make it good. We haven't yet. Well, make sure that I have a lot of lands left over after the Emrakul attacks, and then we'll be dead, but we'll draw a Nahiri off this rummage. Yeah, we did last time, right? I'm light on Nahiris now. There's only one left, Roy. If things go belly up, we're gonna be in trouble. They discarded a Breach, so I'm sure they have another one. They topped on the last op, so I wonder if that means they finally found it. It looks like they did. Yeah. Good. Good. So they're playing a pretty good amount of 1-mana spells and no creatures that I feel like interacting with. So, or rather, I don't need Oust to interact with their Snapcaster mages. So let's get those out of here. Helix actually would have been pretty good if we had drawn it at any point, but of course we didn't. I need more cuts. Helix is like not great in the matchup, so I'm going to cut them all for the moment and then see what I end up bringing back in. Day of Judgment and Wrath of God are also of limited appeal. So I think I want the other Lingering Souls. Damage to target creature, a planeswalker, destroy target artifact or enchantment. No. Vanishing Verse, no. Get the Chalices in here. Probably just bring back 3 Helix. Probably also cut the Gideon for the last Helix. I think it's just better overall. Like, I have enough ways to generate permanents. The permanent count that game wasn't really the problem. What's our life total? Roy, did you actually end up seeing my my awesome little new piece of artwork, quote unquote? Not really mine, but piece of art that I created. The Time Warp. I took the Japanese Mystical Archive Time Warp, and I made it into a conceptually similar card to the Tempest Time Warp. It's like Kamigawa, but nice, rude. No, Roy, there's like no flying fish anywhere. But you see here and here on the original art, that's as far over as it goes. So I painted in both sides with a bunch of different techniques to fill it out to be like desktop dimensions, which was pretty cool. It was a fun little thing. Yeah, this hand is pretty awful. I mean, in theory, turn 1 Cleansing Wildfire might put them on their butt land-wise, but they have like 3 basics in their deck usually. Okay, turn 2 Boom is pretty good here. I can't actually play anything in this hand after that point, but I think we just like bottom Chandra and pray. Like it better than the current art? What current art? Which one? You mean the other Mystical Archive one, or? Because I like that art. I like most arts that Time Spiral has.
Boom, baby!
I like the normal Mystical Archive one. I just wouldn't want to play it with that frame. The frame just drives me up a wall. Ah, that was not the land I needed to draw there. All right, well. All right. Don't pass the turn. You can't do that. You can't play any of your spells with this. You need to cantrip. Oh my god. Nahiri's just ready to go today. Jeez. Alright, well. Let's start chewing through their remands. Aethergust. Bottom, please. I don't need to draw that card again right now. No, thank you. Unless they hit a land. The fact that I couldn't play anything on 3 was no good, but oh, just having some mana issues. Oh, she's harbinging, all right. Look at her go. She's doing it right now. Archmage's Charm. And they're gonna have Cryptic. I had hope for a half second. Okay, so I could play the Seasoned Pyromancer instead. If I shuffle first, I'll have more Nahiri density, since it was on the bottom. Yeah, I'm okay with this. Kind of sucks that like basically any red spell I draw at this point I can't cast, so if it does resolve, it's like eh. Ugh, cryptic. I mean, but no, my point about the old art, Roy, is not how good or bad it is on a subjective artistic basis, although obviously I should consider that more. The 2 major selling points for me are, 1, it's in the old frame, which, you know, obviously shouldn't be as much of a selling point as it is for me, but I'm not going to argue with myself about it. But 2, it's the concept of Time Warp kind of showing the same event from the different angle. It's like the exact same person. It's kind of like if they do a clone and it doesn't have the... No, I wouldn't, Roy. And my point is this. If they do a clone and it doesn't have the clone joke, I don't like the art particularly much. Like, and by clone joke, I mean clone trope, I guess. But like, you don't need to, but I like the clone arts, like the Onslaught clone as compared to the Vesuvian Doppelganger from Alpha Beta, as compared to Morphling, I love that meme, and I mean meme in the conceptual way. I love that trope. So it's just something that makes me happy. And like, I feel like only one of the 4 Time Warp arts actually shows you anything that seems to be time related in any way, right? Which is the original one. The 10th edition one is literally a dude getting hit by a wave. What does that have to do with Time Warp? Like, in what way is that Time Warp at all? It's not a joke. It's just showing you 2 versions of a thing, and one of them is not quite... One of these things is not like the other. One of these things is not quite the same. So I'm choosing to go this way. I'm going to take the hit for 15 here, because I just don't care. And I said it in the post I made. I posted the edit that I did to Reddit. I like that part of those things. Like I love all the split second cards had a similar visual motif of like they literally had like the split second line on their art, and on one side of it you'd see the before the spell went into effect, and the idea was literally a split second later you were seeing the other thing. So it was like almost as if the light hadn't quite fully gotten to your eyes and you were seeing like half of one thing and half of the other thing because it happened so fast. Deals 2 damage and create a treasure token. They also have the Emrakul. They got a second breach here. Yeah, I mean, I think the other Mystical Archive, oh, they just killed me. The other Mystical Archive art, Roy, I actually like better than this one, but this one worked better for what I was doing. You wish more art told stories. I mean, it usually does. It just, it just tells a small piece of a story. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like flip cards do that, or transforming cards, DFCs, double face cards, transforming double face cards, TDFCs. Those do that a lot. I like how the OG Time Walk tells the story of the walk, not so much the time. Yeah, it's a bunch of skeletons. Like, if it was a guy, and then a skinnier guy, and then a skeleton, like, that would kind of mean something, but, like, it's just a bunch of skeletons for no particular reason. Alright, just can't cast this Pillage or, like, anything else in the hand. No companion, so I'll mull that. This is much better. Although it's got a boom bust with no synergy piece, so that kind of sucks. I think I'm going to keep this, and I think in the dark I'm just going to chuck a mountain. I know I have a Boom Bust, which is going to demand a land from me at the moment. I'm just hoping I Mise into one of the 9 cards that I have that function with Boom Bust. Ipnu Rivulet. So this is probably Inverter. I think I have to turn 2 Boom here against the control deck. Just pray that I start ripping into more lands.
Boom, baby!
What the hell? There we go. They can't take Boom Bust with that. The only thing they can take is Lingering Souls. That's great. Well, that's an unfortunate draw. I mean, I'm game, opponent. I'm game. I got nothing to do anytime soon. Nothing. I have no plan. Oh, so late! Where were you? Where were you when they built that ladder to heaven? Bottom. Second Shelltalk Isle. That's brutal. Jeez. I don't like this. Although they're missing their colors, so small blessings, I suppose. They don't have any black yet. Hey! Let's go. Let's go. Counter? Countered. Oh, the worst one! Didn't even tax their resources. Yeah, tax my resources. Oh, no. No! Alright. What the hell are they playing? Black. Okay. Wishclaw? Like what? Oh. Tassiger. It's Tassiger, for sure. 110%. Winner. Alright, well. They have 6 cards in hand. Jeez. Bottom. Honestly, I'm just gonna draw and then... Oh, well, I mean, that was one of the best possible draws. It even fits in with, like, the curve of what I wanted to do anyway. The problem is they're playing Archmage's Charms, they're playing Cryptic Commands, like, there's no... Wow, it resolved! I don't even know what to say about that. I mean, again, it doesn't really matter, because it's like a really good chance that they can just kill me in a turn or two, but... Are they going to draw 2 with their Archmage's Charm and be like, lol, didn't even care? I'm so upset right now, because that is just terrifying. Like, there's 0% to win this game, I think. There is no way on the planet. In fact, no, they can't win right now. But they could be very close. Say they redrew the Tassiger, they're going to play it again. Which puts their graveyard down to 1 card. So if they have their mana next turn, they could just go Inverter win. And they have 2 Shelldock Isles that have been able to dig them to stuff here, so... Feeling pretty inept. However, I guess one of the few ways we could try to cheese them out of stuff is Pillage. Pillage the untap land. Should have tapped my Darksteel Citadel as the third land for this after the Savai Triome and the Needle Spire. Probably won't matter, but it could matter. Zendikar is not super scary. It's pretty slow clock as clocks go. For modern, your 5-turn clock, that's lackluster. I guess it's not that likely they have more lands. I have killed 3. Oh, well, never mind. Mangler? Inverter. That is bold. Although, not surprising. I am going to destroy their Shelldock Isle. So that's probably a Stone Rain with the Cleansing Wildfire. That might be 2. I mean, I can't get them off of their mana entirely here, but it's probably worth trying. I guess, though, I'm going to get hit to 1. But then I can go up to 5. I don't know. I'm going to draw 2 cards. We'll see. We'll see. This is certainly kind of funny. Mess with their mana big time. Certainly going to be able to gum up the ground. It's just, can I deal with this inverter? It's a good draw. So if they have an Oracle, they can't win immediately unless they draw a card. And since they have 2 blue and a black, I feel like that's not super likely, so. If we draw a Nahiri, we can exile the inverter. And they have 3 mana up, so there's a good chance they have Drown or something. Watery Grave. That's not fun. Ooh, so fancy, opponent. Yikes. So fancy. Let's rip one of our Wrath of Gods, shall we? There's 3 in the deck. We got a reasonable shot to hit one. Pooh bust. No. And... Day of Judgment. Well, let's see if it was reasonably close. I guess I can hit an Oust. And then... things. None of the cards in my... Oh, I have a Lingering Souls. We are not out of this. That's kind of hilarious. I think I'm supposed to not discard the Emrakul since I'm trying to draw 2 specific cards. Okay. Opponent's down to 2 cards in library. They could end up decking. Opponent said, gonna recycle those lands when they played their second inverter. I gotcha. No! Fatal Push! Oh, it's so irrelevant! Ah! It's so bad against my deck, except when it's awesome. Alright. Found another Chalice matchup, though. They're playing a lot of cheap card draw and fatal pushes and such. Leyline also consideration. The Lightning Helixes are generally quite poor again. Day of Judgment and Wrath of God are like generally not good, but like maybe we end up bringing them back. Vanishing Verse is quite acceptable. Rest in Peace is a big pain in the ass for them. Lingering Souls is probably fine. That game was pretty anomalous in terms of how it went down with the inverters, but let's just keep a Day of Judgment and a Wrath of God. Taking out the Gideon and the Chandra. I think I like this. Rest in Peace is not a combo, is a non-bow with flagstones. So that's one thing to be aware of, but just like one of those moments when they say the movie title in the movie. Roy, I believe that inverter presents a clear and present danger. And that's why I became Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. Oh, that's why it's called that. That is definitely my favorite. Fatal Push. We've got to get to the top. The Fatal Push didn't come out in time to get us to the top. Alright. Ah, opponent's so clever and wily. Look at me. I'm the inverter player. I play fancy cards. Wow. Why so quickly with the Wrath of God? So next turn we do get to do the classic boom trick with fetch land. So this is another thing that I didn't talk about during the deck. 2-color deck draws 2 of their fetch. And you can't do the same trick with Cleansing Wildfire and a fetch land because it will fizzle it. So this now means I have literally no play this turn. Unless I want to force them to crack a fetch land, which I pretty much do not. Alright, well, I guess this is why people enjoy playing Leonin Arbiter. Because sometimes these games come up. We're the control deck now? We are not, Roy. We are not the control deck now. They are the control deck now, and their hand is kind of perfectly kicking my ass at the moment. I know you were joking, but... By the control deck, you mean the deck that does nothing. I see. I guess that is what a lot of people mean when they say control deck. Yeah, we're the control. We've been given no medicine in this matchup. We're just going in unvaccinated. Bottom it, please. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter because I'm about to shuffle, but... The control deck group. I kind of love that. So they can take Lingering Souls, Vanishing Verse, or Cleansing Wildfire. All of these are acceptable. Took the Cleansing Wildfire. Interesting choice. Maybe they're quite light on basics. All right, this looks like it's an awesome draw. It's not. Now, I am going to target it with the boom just because it's a legendary land and I don't really need to have it around. So if they don't counter this, I'm not going to be horribly upset about it. Because my colors are pretty well sorted. But they did counter it, and I'm actually kind of happy about that because at least they use an Archmage's Charm on it. So if I draw a Nahiri or some such here, then I'm going to be in okay shape. One of the big downsides is they did... Okay. That's okay. I guess they didn't see this. I mean, they did, but whatever. 4 mana Thought Scour. Interesting choice. They milled Rest in Peace and Needle Spires off my deck. Thanks, buddy. I didn't want to draw that Rest in Peace at all. Needle Spires I would have been okay with, but the Rest in Peace I definitely did not need to draw. Snapcaster Phage is not picky about the Snapcasters they consume. Good to know. They just want those delicious, delicious human mages. So this is 20 or less cards in a library. 20 or fewer, sorry. My dream is to end a game by successfully snapcasting a Phage the Untouchable somehow. I mean, if you're okay with a looser definition of that, I'm sure it can be done in a game of Commander. Phage the Untouchable was the only Commander deck in recent memory that I made, which I kind of enjoyed the Spite deck build. And I won a surprisingly large number of the games I played. Not that winning is the primary goal, but... No, sir, I'm a purist. With that, not the other thing. No, yeah, I certainly... Have I ever seen a Snapcaster altar with Fidel Castro? No, but I mean, I guess you could do that. So we got a big, big downside here in that our opponent, if they have an inverter, we're just done for. So that's fun. But I have an Emrakul coming in, so they will die this turn. So they have to have the inverter now. Looks like they're going to dig for it. Tops it. Did they immediately draw it? Serum Visions. Draw. Scry 2. You know what would have been really nice? To find one of those chalices I boarded in. Because I did it for a reason. One on bottom, one on top with the Scry. They still have the Jace, right? What the hell is all that? You still had the... Oh, they still have the Jace, yeah. All right. Well, we got crushed. Brutally, brutally crushed. Snap Castro Mage sounds like a Fidel Castro flaunts his inner diva kind of altar, sure. All right. Well, we got crushed by Inverter. Blue tempo just knocking us out, so... 2 in a row we've lost to the Spell Snare Archmage Charm Cabal. Cuban Snapcaster Sandwich. So yeah, this deck is not... I guess blue-black looks better than it used to. I mean, blue-black has been one of the lead control archetypes for a little while now. Inverter is the more questionable part, but... Inverter... Yeah, don't play blue-black fairies. That is surely still quite bad. Assuredly still quite a poor deck choice. Which is sad, because I love that deck. Snapcaster Mage is one... Or, not Snapcaster Mage. Spellstutter Sprite is one of my favorite cards of all time. Alright, Night Snapcaster Phage. Played Inverter at Modern Monday at your shop with a winning record. Yeah, I mean, it's a fine way to play Blue-Black Control. Blue-Black Control was the best... control deck in Modern for a little while until people realized how good Kaya's Guile was. And how good... I mean, people already kind of knew how good Teferi, Hero of Dominaria is, so... Doing a lot of losing this league, and generally feeling like... God damn it. Generally feeling like this version of Nihiri Boom is not as good as the previous one I played. Man, our colors have been really kicking our butt. Okay, I'm against the Luris deck. I'm going to keep this. So if I lead on Flagstones, I can get my second red by turn 3. Because we don't know what kind of Lurrus deck they're on. I really hope it's not Lurrus blue control again. That is... If we're playing against more blue hard control, it's going to be... I don't know. I'm going to be unenthused. Can I just have a nice burn deck or one of those prowess decks that's been everywhere constantly? Maybe people got really tired of playing prowess constantly and mirror matches. Because there was so much of it in the last little while. Okay, Bloodstained Mire, good sign, good sign. Might be in the market for a Death's Shadow. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Was Volta... Oh, Niv Elemental! Opponents on sugar, spice, and everything nice. Alrighty then. That can get right out of here. Mutagenic Growth. Mutagenic Growth. Do it. Oh, they get to keep the counters. Oh, wow. Gut Shot? Anything works. Wow. That's sick. I did not realize Niv Magus Elemental was a 1-2 at any point ever. That is messed up. Alright. Might be dead on turn 2. It's actually very unlikely. We could be dead on turn 3. Now that's entirely likely. They can't be playing the Witch Roy. They're Lurrus deck. That is not a thing that is possible. Plays Manamorphose. Sure. Oh, they're going to play a Storm Spell. They're going to play the Ground Rift or whatever. As long as they don't get this thing up to 10 Tainted Strike. Wait, what? And then Ground Rift? Jesus. Turn 2 combo kill. And I played Lightning Helix in that game. I played a Lightning Helix in that game. This game, see this game here? I played Lightning Helix in this game. This is what we call some bullshit. Oh, modern doing modern things. Modern doing modern things. Okay. So let's get Gideon and Chandra out of here. I don't think I need those cards in this matchup. I guess Lingering Souls is not even that... Oh no, Pillage. I probably don't need to go after their mana that bad. That strong. That hard. That's the word. Is there any anti-infect tech in this deck? Like leeches? I really don't understand the question. There's 4 Chalice of the Voids coming out of the sideboard, so if you're talking to infect the archetype, yes. I don't know how to answer the question, is there any anti-infect tech in this deck? I mean, we're playing Helixes, we're playing mass removal, we're playing blockers. What doesn't actually work? Yeah, it does work, though, because it stops them from playing Tainted Strike. So it means they have to work a lot harder. It also stops them from playing their threats half the time. Yeah. I've just never seen one in play. It's been something that people have like speculated about as a potential deck a bunch, but they slows them down, yeah. We'll just get the... Yeah, I'll just split up. It's all fine. Use Miss Kaya's Guile? Yeah. This is one of the times where MTG Bot's emote timing did not work out hilariously as it was agreeing with something that I said. Yep, that's a hand. Basically, don't care about much that's in this hand other than the fact that it's got a turn 2 Chalice. We get to go Flagstones into Flagstones to set up our red. So, it should be a pretty straightforward game. Opponent mulls to 5. See, this feels like a normal thing that's going to happen to that deck. Now, admittedly, they mulls to 4. Admittedly, they could have discard. Played the land destruction deck too, but now I want to play the Niv Magus deck. Yeah, I mean, it's got an appeal to people who like that kind of modern deck. So, not me, but I get it. I understand why you'd want to play that deck. It's, the novelty of it is probably something to some people. For me, the times I've enjoyed playing what I'll refer to as like novelty decks are a little more hoop jumping through, like the I can't believe it's not Hammer Time deck, where you were playing Sunforger and Manamorphoses and Fists of Flame, I think was the name of the card. I really enjoyed that deck. I can't believe it's not Hammer Time. So clever Luminmancer with Ground Rift is scary. So if they have Manamorphose, Spell, Flame Rift, they could hit me for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But because the Tainted Strike can't resolve, that's a huge difference. That deck 4 colors. It certainly seems like it is, yeah. Well, you gotta remember the Niv Magus Elemental's hybrid, so it's it's just easy to pull off. That's just the truth of the matter. Not even a problem. Probably playing Shadow 2. I guess it could be. I'm just gonna knock them off their red here. I'm not particularly frightened. Gotta play the blue for it. Well, they're probably playing Flusterstorm, right? I would imagine. I would imagine the card is Flusterstorm. That they're doing that. Yeah. I mean, opponent built the deck like I would build the deck. If you're gonna play the nonsense deck, go all in. All in. Don't flip around. Just play the most nuts version of it that you can and see how it works, how much fun it is. Yeah, so Flusterstorm actually counters my Wrath of God here. But they're down to 2 cards in hand, so I'm just not worried. I just don't care. Like, it's cool that they knew this works. Good for them, but like, I don't know how they expect to win the game at this point. They're sticking in it. So, kudos opponent. Again, like Manamorphose, another spell, and a Ground Rift. I mean, that is 10 damage very quickly, but I just can't imagine they're going to have anything to do after that. You know what? I'm just going to jam Nahiri. And then just put her on 6. This should force some action out of them. Like, if they can kill her, like, kudos. There we go. Assault Strobe. Sure. I think they're going to go after my Nahiri here. Which, Tainted Strike. Yep. Okay, you got a 4-power Luminmancer. Like, Mutagenic Growth. Sick. 6-power Luminmancer. With Shattering Spree being enough for them. Yeah, I guess so. But I mean... And it's like a card they could reasonably play, so yeah, I don't hate that thought, but I mean, I still don't imagine them winning the game after that, because they're just not going to be able to do enough damage before I do my next thing. Like, it looks like an out until they actually see where that leads them. And like they needed more red. You're starting to think Chalice is great against them. Are you? What tipped it off?
Boom, baby!
Was there something in particular? Moldifor with the Chalice on one is pretty much an auto scoop. You would have thought so. I mean, they're sticking it out. Now they conceded. Truly, they found themselves out of answers and were defeated. So shall it be written, so shall it be done. The third 1-drop counter had you on edge, but not the fourth. I feel like it's kind of crazy, but I think I want the Ousts in, even though I'm playing for Chalice, just because of the out of having an Oust on one that puts a creature away before they can go nuts with it. I just feel like this game, I'm going to have to mulligan to like strong removal on 2 at the worst. And there's just nothing more I can grab. Like, I could board in these rip-aparts, but, like, Oust is almost just better. Just because it just puts it away. Just period. So, this is how I'm going to go. I know I'm playing Oust with Chalice of the Void, but I'm pretty sure I like my reasoning for it. So... yeah, that's not good enough. Well, I mean, I have a couple mulligans. They snapped off their 7. Oh, maybe I'm supposed to keep this because maybe it's not that fast of a 7. No, I bet it is. All right, this has Chalice. Realistically, it's not going to get better than this, so we just have to not get turn 2. That's all you can say about it. Don't die on turn 2. Or top deck the Oust. Both excellent options. I wonder if they kept a hand that has an out for Chalice. That's also entirely possible. We'll lead on Mesa. Yeah. Just go get my Tri-land. Just get set up for tokens. Pineapple Major 5. It's going all right. We're playing some of the neater decks that were in the recent challenge and not doing particularly well with them. Well, decks that I was enthused by that were a little more outside my comfort zone than usual. Niv Magus, you got it. So, Niv Magus Elemental is uniquely good against Chalice of the Void because you can just exile everything that you play before it gets countered. So, it definitely has a unique... It's got a very special set of skills, let's say. But, I mean... I didn't come here not to play Chalice of the Void. So... At least they can't give it Death Touch. Not Death Touch. I mean, Death for Me Touch, in fact. Oh, maybe they have Spell Snare or Ceremonious Rejection. Although it'll force them to fetch another blue, which means their colors are going to get overlapped. They have a white. Interesting. I'm really hoping they draw more creatures. Tapped. Okay. I'm excited to die this turn. Manamorphose, 1 mana spell, Flusterstorm. They can make the elemental a 9. Sorry, 9/10. They could do. I kept in all of my wraths and stuff, so we just need to find that and then survive long enough to cast it. A Shock and Blood Crypt. Well, that's extra terrifying. Okay. Yep. Spell, and what's it called? The Ground Rift. Oh, okay. And maybe it's just 3 spells. Nope, just 2. Hitting me for 5. Okay, it's not too bad. It's bad, but it's not too bad. Can take him off a land here. I think ramping myself is actually a lot better. Especially because I could draw the Oust that isn't relevant to not cast. Oh, they could have Flusterstorm. Huh. And they could exile the extra copy to make the Niv Magus a 7/8. Interesting. Huh. Flusterstorm. Flusterstorm's a really good reason actually to ramp here. See you, Roy. You almost definitely won't make it back in time. That's okay. Nahiri is an excellent draw. Because that gives me an out next turn. So unless they kill me this turn, which is not impossible, but semi-unlikely, we might be able to muddle through here. I want to see them put Lurrus in their hand. That's what I want to see. It's pretty easy for them to make this like an 11... 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, they could make this 11 power. That'll put me to 3. Oh, no, they can go all the way up. Because the gut shot is free. Well, we'll see. We'll see if their colors work out. Jeez. Oh, so they can make it 13. Unless they have a single storm spell, then I'm screwed. We'll see. Just need them not to have a storm spell. They left up blue before, so I think they have a Flusterstorm, but if they did, they should have just played it there and killed me. White. Some kind of protection spell? Yeah, this is the 2 mana. Yeah, Apostle's Blessing, sure. There's the Flusterstorm. Jeez, man, what a beating we've been taking. Just 2 leagues in a row. Just everyone's got everything. Oh, man. Rough. Rough. So that was 11, 13, 15, 17. We really are. Like, it's not even, it's, It hasn't really felt like competitive. Yeah, I think this deck is not... I mean, obviously the last time I played Nihiri Boom, I 5-0'd with it, but like, I think a lot of the choices in this deck, and they are choices, are just worse. I can definitely get behind not playing Lightning Bolt, and playing Oust instead is probably quite good, but I think Mana Tithe is probably great right now just because of how many decks play super close to the ground, super tight on their mana all the time, and when you're playing Boom Bust and Pillage with it, it's actually quite good. Oh, it's Bench Summer. Well, they're on 0-2, I'm on 0-3. Fancy meeting you here. I guess I could keep this hand on the draw. I mean, we're not doing anything until turn 3. But if I'm against him on the Pox deck, then this hand is going to be really good. Jeez. I hope this is not a Luris blue deck. Oh, it's such a Luris blue deck. Boo. I'm tired of losing to everything. No. Salt roped on MTGA for like 10 minutes. Oh, that's tough, man. Yeah, that's not fun. So I guess the question is, how am I going to deal with them getting to Valky? And I guess the immediate answer is I'm just not, and hopefully this turn I'm going to play a bunch of... Oh, they might be on 4-color Shadow. They're definitely on 4-color Shadow. Okay. This actually could work out quite well for me. Because this turn, I can play Flagstones and then go, like, boom... What the hell? What? Holy crap. What? 4-color Breach? No, it can't be Breach. They're playing Luris. Wild. I have no idea what's happening. Bring to light Breach with Prismari command to get it to go off faster? Sorry, Bring to Light Luris. Valky Luris Bring to Light deck that never got a good name with Prismari command, maybe. Huh. Interesting. I guess it could be. Discards Inquisition Swamp. Alright. Well, I guess that means they're not bringing to light, so that's good. Probably discarding one of my boom busts here, though. I really don't know what they're on. He did say he's trying something, quote unquote, so. Would Shadow ever play Prismari command? It doesn't make any sense to me. But, like, yeah, I guess so. Jesus. Took my Seasoned Pyro. Okay, that's great for us. That's not so great for us. So I can knock them off green, so they'll have to use their treasure to get the Death Shadow back, or the Tarmogoyf back. Or I could knock them off red, so they have to use their treasure for any TBR. I think getting them off red is probably better overall. Getting them off blue, though, means if I draw other removal, it's more likely to resolve. Yeah. Alright. Stub me? No stub. Stub me? No stub. Okay. We're gonna oust the Goyf because they're gonna gain 3 life, which shrinks their shadow. So it's gonna be little bit more tricky for them to TBR into a kill here. Expressive Iteration. Yeah, alright. I mean, this is some very strange cards in there. Nice. Thank you. I mean, they got a 6/6 shadow now, which kind of sucks for me, but yeah. Do I Helix the thing that sucks to Helix for me, or do I Helix the other thing that sucks to Helix for me? Wait, I can kill their Death Shadow here. I am definitely doing that. Yeah. 2/1 double strike, baby. She got some kind of fatal push. Go first strike damage. Now, if I float, is it gonna tell me it's gonna empty? Yeah. Shoot. Well, if they have removal, they get me good here. No, good. Got him. Jeez. At least it's little. For now it is. Doubles in size every turn. Ridiculous. Alright. Come on, deck. Oh, no. Oh, stop it. Holy crap. You're supposed to go get your Luris. Oh. Thoughtseize. Oh, okay. Jesus. What a draw. I guess I could put them on 0 lands and me on 2? Scourge was a mistake. I mean, I don't know about that, but Uro was a better design. Wow. I mean, I love Uro, so I don't want to fight you on that one, and I don't like Scourge, so I'm not going to fight you on that one, but I don't know about that one. I guess we're going to possibly 1 or most likely dead, because they'll find a way to lose life. Iteration seems super good in Grixis Shadow. I think I disagree with you, but it's possibly quite good. I think the speed of it is the major concern. I do think Iteration could be good in a Luris Grixis Death Shadow deck. I think normally I quite like Death Shadow with... do I want to play the non-bow? I think that I do. Maybe I... No. We should be fine here. I personally think that the regular Death Shadow builds were generally better than Luris Death Shadow, but Luris GDS. But if you do want to play Luris, maybe Iteration's okay, because it like helps you have more churn and you're a lot more grindy. And also they're not Grixis, right? They're 4-color. And 4-color Shadow is my preference anyway. So maybe what it is that this is a Luris build. They are definitely a Luris build. They have Luris in their sideboard. They are playing 4-color Scourge Shadow with Luris. There was Tarmogoyfs in that game. Which means I might want Rest in Peace. I think I do. Oh, Vanishing Verse is good. No, Helix. It's no problem, Pineapple Major. It happens to everyone. Since I'm bringing in... Rest in Peace, let's take some Lingering Souls out. Yeah, just the one. All right. This is the game where we got to get them with the Chalice. Hopefully. They do have a lot of 2-mana threats, though, which is really frustrating. I'm probably supposed to bring in Leyline of Sanctity here, but like I hate playing 2 Leylines. Like that's yeah. No, like I prefer the Chalice. Okay. We got 2 very good turn 2 plays. How come we don't like Gemstone Caverns? I like Gemstone Caverns fine. This deck is not playing Gemstone Caverns. It's an auto mull to 6. That is really not a good characterization of what that card does, 406 lol, at all. That is not what that card does. Also, so Bench Summer knows exactly what deck I'm on, which is not normal. And specifically said during game 1 that they were not fetching because they knew that I have Boom Bust and such. It's great with Chalice. So what you have to realize about Gemstone Caverns is Gemstone Caverns is a card that if you have very impactful turn 2 plays, 406 lol, then Gemstone Caverns basically lets you be on the play more often. You're going down a card, but you're on the draw, right? So I'm not... Boom. Take their blue. I'm just not sure if you fully understand like the value of it.
Boom, baby!
Stub me, baby. One more time. Okay. Got him. Lightning Bolt. You nerd. What are you gonna do? Play Scourge of the Skyclaves? Yikes. Please don't. You son of a bitch. It's okay. Is it okay? Maybe it's not okay. Cleansing Wildfire plus Mazemind Tome is really good, but maybe I can draw an untapped land and then I don't have to shock. Nope. Do I want to shock? I really don't. It's probably fine not to. Don't thought seize me, opponent. It's illegal. It's a game rule violation and you know it. That is kind of okay. Can't take the one card I really care about, so go nuts. Got him. Yeah, Gemstone Caverns is a staple of fast combo and prison decks for a reason, 406 lol. When you have higher mana cost cards that you kind of really want to resolve aggressively, it's a way to help you do that. Now, playing more than one is definitely like, you know, a thing that's, you know, of debatable value, but playing one feels pretty free to me in a deck like this. I'm not saying you have to do it, but they bolted my Nahiri. I enjoy a good 2-for-1 opponent. How about you? Oh yeah. So polite, Magic the Gathering Online. So polite. Would you like to use Cleansing Wildfire's ability? Yes! Yes, I would! Thank you! So nice. Oh, that's just rude. Although if they have a second discard spell, we get to just Helix them in response. Although I think they might have some shadows stuck in their hand, so I don't even know if I want to do that. Certainly if it's a Thoughtseize. But... okay. Let's draw a second card first. And then play the Pyro. I tapped badly. Yeah, I tapped very badly here. We'll still just discard these two. Hey, look, we drew a thing that makes it all better. No, they grabbed their Lurrus. No. Rest in peace, messing with my Seasoned Pyromancer is not the best thing in the world, but the fact that they're a Lurrus deck that's playing Tarmogoyfs makes it feel pretty alright to me. They finally have blue, though, which means they can now cast Expressive Iterations or some such. Cooligan's Command. Target player discards card and destroys target artifact. They went after. They just was straight after my Mazemind Tome. I already drew me 2 cards, so I will take it. We are not attacking here. Oh, we are doing that though. You know what I tell? You know what I say, folks. Oh man, I don't have any flagstones here. Oh, even if I did, they wouldn't matter. Maybe this is more of a boom situation. I only get to keep 1 land here. Yeah, this sucks, but I think boom is correct. Just take them off there. Red? Yeah. Just take them off the red.
Boom, baby!
Again, not gonna attack here, and I'll hold on to my Arid Mesa. Just worried about them enabling their Death Shadows that are in their hand. Which, again, I shouldn't be worried about, because I have a Wrath of God, but, like, the longer this game... Okay, well, now we can attack. Chalice. J'aime le Chalice. Hey, opponents. Coligans command this. So I'm leaving myself open to them playing Scourge of the Skyclaves here. We still have the out of Wrath of God, so I'm not worried about it. Tarmogoyf is obviously not a threat at the moment. I got lots of mana. Get ye to your Lurrus. Seriously? No Lurrus? Just not? Don't even care? Alright, I mean, whatever. No skin off my ass. Like, I wonder if they're trying to build up to some, like, overwhelming board state they're just going to put in all at once. I can't imagine that's their plan, but... Yeah, alright. Lurrus? Okay. Like, are they holding, like, a stub or something? Because they've kept mana up a bunch of times recently, and I'm just not... I can't imagine what it's for. So I think I'd rather trade with the Lurrus than anything else. So I'm just going to sit back, unfortunately. They have like some kind of 2-mana removal spell or some nonsense. I guess I could get punished for this. But I'd rather trade my Seasoned Pyromancer for their Lurrus. And unfortunately, if I attack and they just don't block, and then they crack back for the 3, they end up higher on life total. And yeah, they want this. Of course they do. But this means I get to hold on to my Wrath of God, which I think, like, this is the trade I wanted. I didn't want them to get the 3 extra life, but there's just nothing I can do about it. And I just can't not have an out to Scourge of the Skyclaves right now. I have to hold the Wrath of God. This is the reason we were holding all these lands I was drawing. Because we have things like Nahiri and Seasoned Pyromancer, which do this. And this is great. That's, yep, that right there. See that? That is great. Woo! In this case, the Cleansing Wildfire probably would be a Stone Rain, but oops. Okay, well. At least it wasn't a Stone Rain on me. Now we've got multiple outs for Scourge, so I can spew a Wrath of God if I have to. Can put the opponent to 2 at the moment, unless they shock that, which they didn't. They might be putting in a Tarmogoyf here, though. Sad, inept little Tarmogoyf. Casts Iteration. Well, that's scary. Not particularly scary, because Chalice is probably doing quite a good job blocking them out. Although I do wonder if I should have put a Chalice on 2. The danger there, though, is if they find a Kolaghan's command and shatter your Chalice on 1, and there's only a Chalice on 2. Like, a lot of this deck is on 2, so... There it is. I knew he was coming. I saw it. I saw it in a dream. Ooh, now that's a draw. All right. Well, you best find another out, opponent. And like the wrath of God, it came down from the sky. Oh, shit. They had an out. Oh, shit. I had an out. And like a wrath of God, it came down from the sky. Yikes. Well, it's getting a little sketchy again. Helix can gain me up to 15, but unfortunately, if they find another Scourge of the Skyclaves, it'll be a 5/5 that will hit me for 5, and then it'll be a 10/10 that will hit me for 10. So, Lightning Helix, not doing the best work. Hopefully, what we do is we hit the other Lightning Helix and just kill them. So I haven't seen too many of them so far, I think. And by not too many, I've already seen 2. Crap. Yeah, the Manland is potentially going to do some serious work here. Kill him old school. It's a sliver. Look at it. It's definitely a sliver. It's clearly a sliver. Thoughtseize. You got me. Are they going to just spitefully play out all their 1-drops, or is this... Okay. Let's not gratuitously mistap. Needle Spire. Squirrel! Do you have 2-mana removal? They do. Oh! It's so good! Jiggy, you led me down a primrose path to my own destruction. How could you? I would have done that anyway. Do it again. Me too, my friend. I have learned much from the Jiggy school. Although I approve of the way that I play the Velomachus turn deck, and I will not take any guff about it. I think I play that deck as a mid-range / control deck the right amount. Lightning Bolt, sure. That Lightning Bolt was super countered. Follow the data. Data is me winning. I mean, you're not wrong. Okay, I'm not going to spew this Helix. It's just not necessary. It's an instant. While we could just jam here, I just don't see any reason to. Like, unless they force me to. Because just, like, so much of their interaction doesn't even touch it. I cannot imagine. Like, they have Drown Locks. Those don't matter. They have Stubborn Denials. They can't cast those. We got them. All right. Now the hard game. Timely is really good here. Timely is an excellent 3-mana answer to a Scourge of the Skyclaves. Vanishing Verse is fine. The Helixes are kind of lackluster. Rest of Peace is obviously awkward, but it was way worse for them than it was for us. So, I like the Lingering Souls. It's just cut like a Cleansing Wildfire. Do I like that? I think I do. Well, it can get me to a turn 3 Wrath. It's just one of the Lingering Souls for the Timely. Let's Jiggy Wiggy it. He's here hanging out. 61 card special. Let's go, baby. I mean, I did need Freak to teach me about like how okay it was to board out the growth spirals in the long grindy matchups. Some of them the growth spiral is still good in. Like any matchup where Lightning Bolt is so crap. Man, I really want to keep that. They kept their 7. I'm playing a 24 land deck. Let's just rip into it. Or lose, either way. Can you share a YouTube link? I don't know. Is it on topic? I'm sure it is. You go for it. If it's something for me to look at, you pretty much always can. Well, and especially because I trust you, hands. Like you've been around enough. Like you have link privileges. Just like anyone else, though, you can lose them. It's pornography. He was linking you to pornography. Ah, got it.
Okay, come on. There's got to be a gun on this thing. That looks like a gun.
It's my birthday!
I saw that movie in theaters. I do not remember that scene. But happy birthday, Hans? I was about to say. It was a great movie. I just don't remember that scene. I do remember Jeff Goldblum running a fight club. And by fight club, obviously, I mean like gladiatorial arena on an alien planet. Which was a great, that was a great plot device. Had just a great vibe going. Stub me, baby. Stub me hard. No. Bolt me. Oh, please put in a Scourge. Please put in a Scourge with no mana up. I will wreck you. Ah, what a nerd. It's okay. Mazemind Tome's going to do good work, I hope. No, come on, you're not allowed to do that. Oh. We're going to die to Scourge when they have it all. Oh, it's just Tarmogoyf, thank God. I don't mind you, little Tarmogoyf. You've done me no harm. Especially last game. Rest in Peace game was strong. We got double Nahiri, so the first one can just spew off, taking down the Tarmogoyf. Hopefully they don't have a stub. Yeah, it was. I mean, much like Ant-Man, I really like how Marvel has taken some of these superhero movies and then been like, yeah, but what if instead of just being like a superhero movie like every other superhero movie, what if we did something neat with it? What if we made it an entirely different type of movie with superheroes in it? Appropriate to the kind of superhero that they are. So in the case of Ant-Man, it's a heist movie. Yeah, it's got the superhero origin and all that crap, but like, it's not about Ant-Man going around and fighting appropriately insect-themed villains. You love dumb fat Thor from Endgame? Fat Thor was pretty great. Yeah, heist movies are great. There's a reason they're popular. Great genre. Grabs the Luris. Okay, so they can't have... Okay. That's a 1/1. And yes, I would like that card. Okay. Smart Hulk is hilarious. Smart Hulk was pretty good, I gotta say. Got him! Downside is they're going to be able to go to Luris into Seal of Fire. Oh, no, they're not. The colors don't line up. Huh, that's pretty great. Although, if they have another land... They've had a lot of lands already. Although this iteration build is certainly pretty mana hungry, so I think it can take it if they want to. I actually felt the opposite hands. I really liked Guardians 2. But I didn't see Guardians 1 in theaters. So my opinion on Guardians 1 was very skewed around the fact that I never saw it until the day I was going to see Guardians 2 with no information. And I was like, I guess I should watch this. You know, whatever, you know. And they're shocking themselves. No, they're shocking Nahiri and they're rummaging. Interesting choice. So I had a bit of a stilted view of Guardians. Guardians 1 just didn't do it for me. I have since watched it again. And do you mean the god guy? Like the fact that he was a planet? I don't know. I really liked all that. It was nicely. I mean, they very much like sort of lampshaded it. They were like, it's like a Star Trek plot. See how it's like Star Trek? It's like Star Trek. Get it? And I was like, yeah, I like this. I like how this is like he's referencing TV shows and it's like a TV show and he's pointing out how it's like a TV show. I was like, I like all of this. Because Marvel movies don't do that a lot. So it's like, it was fine by me. I appreciated the balance that they had with it. And I liked how that whole sequence was like very over the top. And the rest of the movie was very, I'm going to say tasteful, if I can use that word in this context. Like the scene of blue spiky haired dude who's what's his name's dad, but he's not really his dad because he kidnapped him. Him doing the massacre everyone in that one facility scene with his floaty arrow deal was like A++++++ phenomenal. It's just so cool. It was a great sequence. Well, that opinion's not gonna win you any favors around here, Dab City. Not gonna win you any favors around here at all. I guess I should just go shock, play Nahiri to play around the Stubborn Denial. They have Lurrus in their hand, and I would not like them to get a creature off of it. Obviously, them getting Seal of Fire is less than great, but I have Helix for the Lurrus. Seal of Fire will immediately kill my Nahiri, so maybe that's no good. But I mean, their colors don't let them play Lurrus into Death Shadow. Oh, or the Seal of Fire. Right, I mentioned that before. No, okay, this plays fine. It's not perfect, but it's better than I thought it was. And then Mazemind Tome's on its way to gaining us life here, so we're probably going to be okay. All right, let's see. Drawing a red source here would be quite bad for us, but someone hasn't seen Justice Leagues? I saw the Justice League movie. Snyder Cut was good. I didn't see the other cut. Dark Knight was the best, hands down, that DC has put out. The best. There's no conceivable argument in my mind about any other DC movie being, I don't know, even worth talking about in the same. Excuse me? Okay. I'd like to bottom that. Good draw. Very good draw. Even beats Adam West. That it does. And how come Batman doesn't dance anymore? Don't you kids remember the Bat2C? Which is actually the first episode of Batman, by the way, for historical context. If they have Stub as their last card, I'm in huge trouble. but I think that's true no matter what I do, so. I mean, Adam West on Family Guy is phenomenal. He's just really funny. Oh, the Daredevil series on Netflix was phenomenal. Holy crap. That was something, dude. That was the good stuff right there. Discards Flagstones, draws Flagstones. All right. Here are my dudes. Shit. I don't believe it. Okay, we're not dead, but that's really bad. I mean, assuming they don't kill us, we should be able to recover fairly quickly, but we're going to be low as hell. So, if they're very conservative, they could use the Scourge to kill Nahiri, but that gives me a bunch of extra shots at drawing Wrath of God, so let's see what they do with it. Also, if they have Lightning Bolt or TBR as their last card, then we're ultra dead. Tax the Nahiri. So conservative. Hi, Steve. Yeah, the deck's nice. Hasn't been treating us so well, but the deck is nice. Alright, well, opponent attacked down the Nahiri, and correctly so. They get a bobble. I can draw the card with Mazemind Tome instead of scrying. And the downside of that is 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 mana afterwards, which means I can play Cleansing into the Wrath, so I think it's okay to just draw. We just haven't hit any Wraths at all in this match, and it's been a bit of a... Jesus. Well... Do I want to thin here? I guess so. There's one more mountain in the deck. There is, yeah. There is one more mountain in the deck. 100%. Okay, please. One time for the one time. I mean, I guess that's okay. I could Sunbaked Canyon still. They have Stub. Also, I want the Luris gone. Get out of here. Okay. I had the Lingering Souls. Oops. I severely fucked up. Alright. Forgot about Lingering Souls. Don't forget about your Lingering Souls, folks. It's not a good plan. Not gonna be a good look. Okay. No matter what, we can't survive this if they have the right cards, so let's just mitigate the damage. Okay. Got an extra card in hand here, so Kolaghan's Command can't knock out the Nahiri. That's scary. Oh my god. Oh. Or we could do that. Remember that one card we were trying to draw forever? So they had the Stub last time. Do they have it again? You! What? No! Oh my god! Sorry. Sorry. Wow. Wow. Oh my god. Twice in a row, the only unknown card in their hand was a Stubborn Denial. Wow. I am... Alright, I think we're gonna be done for the... Well, we'll go enter the last match and give it away. I am definitely not playing it out. I am horribly disillusioned with everything now. Oh my god. What a league. So, this deck looks god-awful. I mean, it's very close to a deck that I recently-ish 5-0'd with. It was the first 5-0 of the season. So, I don't blame this deck at all. No, okay. I think you're being way too harsh on this deck, Speeve. I think this deck is very, very close to being as good as this archetype can be, and this deck top 32 in a challenge. So, like, it's not like if you actually look at the games we played, it's just been brutally unlucky for the most part. It really has not been flaws in the deck so much as like overly mulling to 5, playing against random matchups that can turn 2 kill you, like playing against matchups that blank your Lightning Helix. Like, there have been... How's Chalice not main? I guess they didn't think it was necessary. That's a good... Like, I think the question is, why is Chalice not main? Because it's not like how. Like, it is definitely a choice you could make, because in theory you're gonna play more sideboarded games than other. There's 0-1s. We have 2-1s. The way I split up the deck there, it didn't look like it. Yeah, there's 2 Ousts. And Oust is a good choice in the metagame because it is a guaranteed removal spell against Prowess, and it's excellent against Death Shadow. However, I think you could play more of them because the super aggressive decks like generally don't care about these helixes, and everything else is pretty slow. So, but that said, we just had a lot of runs of bad luck there. I mean, the blue control matchups are going to be some of the worst that you can run up against in this deck. We don't have any boils or anything tricky like that out of the sideboard, so the blue-red breach deck just housed us. And then we played against... it wasn't Esper, but it was something like that. Those were the first 2 matches we went 0-2. And then we played against the Niv Magus Elemental deck, which was able to win through our Chalices, and they had just absolutely insane sequences a lot of times. So they literally turned 2 killed us in game 1 through a Lightning Helix, which is just pretty messed up. So there's really not much. So I think this build is fine. I think the way I was sideboarding it was certainly awkward because I was bringing in Rest in Peace and more Lingering Souls in some matchups, but I was bringing it in matchups where the Lingering Souls was very good and the Rest in Peace would have also been very good. That last match, I definitely screwed up big time by not casting that Lingering Souls on the 3rd from last turn, but it didn't really... I don't think it was going to end up mattering because I was still at lethal to the 3 threats they had, and they still had the 2nd stub. So our opponent was on like a single outer multiple turns in a row, and they had the exact card they needed. So nothing to feel that badly about. I don't love 2 Leyline of Sanctity in the sideboard. Obviously, the person who built this deck knows what they're doing, or maybe not. Even a challenge top, or a challenge-ish top 32 result. I say result, and I say challenge. I mean, this list made top 32 in a challenge. I think it was between 17th and 32nd, but even so, I mean, that probably means it has a reasonable matchup against Prowess, which we didn't play against, and it probably has a reasonable matchup against the Shadow variants and stuff. Needs more Pongify. Interesting choice. So yeah, it's Mardu Nihiri Boom. I would not choose to play this list again. On my Stream Decker and on my YouTube channel, you can see my previous Nihiri Boom video where we went 5-0, and that list seemed a lot better constructed in my opinion. Although the 4 lightning bolts in that deck may need to be oust now. It's possible you could play main deck Chalice if that's something you're interested in playing. With the proliferation of Prowess, that's potentially something that you'll want to do. but it does make you a little bit softer some other decks. Although some of the breach decks and stuff are playing like 4 lightning bolts and 4 opts, so that's a reasonable amount of stuff you're going to hit out of them. But yeah, I don't like Gideon and Chandra at all in this deck list, by the way. Neither of these cards got to come into play ever, and even if they had, I think they were going to be subpar at best. I just don't think Modern is in a place where these cards are playable at all right now. So check out that other deck list if that's what you would like to play. If you want to play something like this, play the other list. With all that out of the way, this is the end of the video. This is the end of tonight's stream. It's been a little brutal. So that's going to be it for me, but I will be back tomorrow streaming the best of your Magic the Gathering Modern content. And if you have watched all the way through this video on the YouTube, make sure to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, check out any of my other videos you are interested in, and I will see you there. And for everyone who's live here with me on twitch.com, you are about to head over to the Juan and only the great Giglio MTG. So enjoy some Ponza, Death Shadow, something mid-rangey and semi-aggressive, I'm sure. And I'll see you folks there.